I'm Katrina Eaton, a second daughter of Mike Schutz, who is the 11th sheriff, and I'm here with Laura, who is the second daughter of Joe, who is the 8th sheriff. And just would love to hear more about your dad and your mom and any stories you can recall about growing up as a member of the Schutz clan.
Well, I vividly remember all the Schutz reunions. I feel like that was one of the fondest memories when we were little, and it was always a long trip to come out to see Grandma
From Maryland.
from Maryland.
Yeah.
So it was a 3-day drive with harnesses that Dad would hook up in the back of the car to try and keep us as safe as possible.
Oh
that was before
God,
car
yeah,
seats.
harnesses. Oh.
And we would go to the barn, and it was just, I remember, a barn full of food, family everywhere, sitting and talking. We would do silly relay races and drive the 4x4 back and forth on the farm, and it was just such a different experience than where we lived in Maryland. It was
like city versus city life, right?
So a lot of really fond memories from that.
Yeah, every time I eat watermelon, I think of the acreage out there, and rhubarb and Mountain Dew for some reason. I don't know why. I guess that was the only time I was allowed to drink Mountain Dew was when we were out there running off energy.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed having those reunions.
Yeah, you remember, and I remember going to after they moved to the house, or I guess maybe Justine already had the house, but going to the house and sleeping over there and having her homemade pickles and tomatoes and all this stuff, foods, special foods.
And the breakfast, her sticky buns.
The sticky
and a little breakfast nook where we could eat. Yes.
I remember that too. I wrote my college interview essay about the house on McDonald Street and all our memories there. Yeah, I still have a copy of it somewhere.
It's funny because I was just talking about it with the kids, thinking that the memories of that house are to me what Grandma's houses are supposed to be like.
Yeah.
That kind of set the stage for how I just remember it. Whenever I picture Grandma's house, that's the house I picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
And things I didn't even think of for a long time.
Yeah, true. Do you feel like, are there any certain traits you inherited from your dad that you feel like are definitely Schutz traits, or that you start to see like in your brother-in-law or your other relatives? Or
I think, just the love of family and making sure that family is there and putting the family vacation sometimes above other things that you might want to do. And instead of going to Europe, we're going to make the trip to Iowa. Just realizing how important family is and making it a priority, which is great. And I also think working with their hands, and I don't know how much of this came from Grandma and Grandpa working on a farm and Dad starting that way, but he would make furniture, and those are the pieces that I treasure most.
You still have some?
We still have
like
some.
What kind of furniture?
He did some bedroom sets for the boys. So it was a bed that we don't have anymore because there's a bunk bed and then desks underneath. But I think we all have some of the desks and drawers. He did a dresser for me, a beautiful table with some inlaid wood. He has a wood harp that we have to fix that he made, and it's just we really got into that when he was a little bit older, and just the beautiful woodwork. It's not something that I would necessarily ever do. We'll always treasure.
But yeah, definitely an admirable skill, and I think a lot of the Schutzes got that.
And just the ability and desire to work with his hands. He would always fix things, and I think my brothers got more of that than I did. Mom was always very artistic, so the two of them together would make the best Christmas presents. They made me a dollhouse that I still have, and Dad did all the woodwork.
I remember the dollhouse.
Do you?
I remember it. Yes, I do.
And it's still there, and it's amazing, and it reminds me of him. And Mom helped me with all the decorations, and my mom's father did all the little woodwork. So it's just really nice to still have in the family. And Mom did so many artistic things between. She would make sugar eggs. She would make these fabulous birthday cakes when we were little, and gingerbread houses. They're literally, it's an egg you form with sugar, and then you scrape out the middle, let it dry, and you put a little seam inside and decorate it with flowers.
Oh my gosh,
so we actually made
a lot of work.
Made a whole bunch this year with the whole family, which is the kids had a ball doing it. So having those traditions.
So you kept that going, that you learned
from
her. That's very cool.
So that was really nice. Both of them.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing about Dad that I loved was his, kind of like David was talking about, being outside in nature. To me, going to the beach is not walking on the boardwalk. It's getting up in the morning before anyone else is up, walking on the beach, picking up shells, and then taking those shells home and doing things with them so you could bring the beauty of the beach home. And I think that love of nature, I think, came more from Dad than from Mom. I think we've all appreciated that. Continue that in our families.
Yeah, that's good. How do you tell your kids who never got to meet him? Do you tell them stories about your dad? And
We do, yes, and I think it's more when we're out and about. It'll bring back a memory, and we'll say, "Well, when I was little, this is what we did." And they got to know Mom very well, which was nice because we were all very close.
so
they
she
knew
can talk
Mom
about him too. And
and a lot of things that she passed on. So, but showing them the pictures that Dad did and the work that he did, that's been really important, I think, and coming to these reunions, and they get to meet all of his family, even though they never got to meet him. And so that means a lot.
Did Barb see Joe and your kids sometimes? Like, does that do certain traits come out, or from both of your parents? Like,
yeah, I think definitely the sarcasm is there. It's not always a good thing, but it definitely is something that he passed on to us kids that we've passed on to our kids. Yes, we all have the same jokes and we all get the same jokes. And yeah, we blame that all on Dad.
Do you want to share anything about your mom before we're done?
I don't know if there's anything more. Like I said, she's very artistic. They made us who we are. They never had lots of money, but we never wanted for anything. I'm not sure how they did it. They moved. They found great schools for us. They encouraged us. I was talking with Sister Bernice this morning about how supporting the family is, and I had to point out that we're supportive because they taught us to be supportive. I think they have given us the basis of being a great family and taught us how to be as good parents as we can be. So I really appreciate that they did that for us.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.